up, good people? I am James Barjuda, and this is Shed Some Light. Today, we're going to be talking about the up and coming election. We're going to be seeing the viewpoints of Joe Biden. We're going to be seeing the viewpoints of Donald Trump, and I'm going to be trying to give my little 2 cents on both sides and how I feel about the election. So, if you don't mind, and with no further ado, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to try to make this very short and simple because I know your time is valuable. So, here we go. Joe Biden is for abortions. Uh, I and okay, so I don't mean to be insensitive about this, and I'm not trying to be insensitive. I know that there are many ways or many reasons why a mother might want to abort their child, and some of them are through traumatic experiences and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to be insensitive about those things, but even still, even with all of that, it is selfish. Uh, we'll leave that alone. So Donald Trump uh, doesn't believe in abortions. Uh, Defunding the police is on the side of Joe Biden. On the side of Donald Trump, he believes in supporting the police. I believe in police reform. Think that they need to go back maybe about 10 to 20 years, doing a case file on all of the officers that work in all of the precincts, looking in to see if they have had any complaint about anything on their record, and do a thorough investigation while they were police officers to weed out the bad cops. I don't believe that we should blindly support the police officers and just say they're just doing their job. I'm sorry, Mr. Trump. I do not agree with you on that area. And I do not agree with Biden on just plain up defunding the police outright without a plan. Okay, let's go into gun control. The Biden side wants to take the gun away. Trump wants to have people to have their gun rights. I am for gun rights. I believe that a person should be able to defend their castle, even though we do see that in minorities and whatnot that doesn't even matter anymore. Even though there are laws in place, if you happen to be a minority, these laws may not necessarily apply to you, or you have to be overly exposing your right to carry, your concealed and carry. You have to make that very aware, and even sometimes doesn't work. In the case of the Castile guy, he was in his car, he had his registration, was telling the cop he wanted to go for his registration, and still ended up getting shot. So let's move on. Riots and violence. I don't know if you guys are familiar with George Soros. He's a guy who has been found to be funding the violence in all of the riots and the looting and stuff like that. Uh, it's not necessarily that it's Trump or that it's Biden. These people here are just puppets. They might not like me saying that, but oh well, they are just puppets, and they are not the ones shaking the jar. We need to focus. We, as the citizens, need to be trying to find that out. Who are the people behind these people? Who's the government behind the government? Uh, Trump is for law and order. I'm for law and order too, uh, but equal law and order. Uh, Illegal immigration, um, and Trump is for legal immigration. I'm for legal immigration too. We all are immigrants. We've all immigrated here from somewhere, right? There are no indigenous people except for maybe the Native Americans, but then they came from somewhere else too. So there's that. Higher taxes, tax breaks. No matter which way you're going to go, you still have to pay taxes, and it only accounts for people who are in a certain tax bracket. And I'm not one of those people, so the tax thing doesn't really apply to most people. If you are rich or middle class, then you might want to pay attention to the taxes and stuff of that nature. Weak military, strong military. It is good for a nation to be able to defend itself. If it can't defend itself, then it is soon not to be a nation. Okay, here we go. Over regulations, over regulations, small business. So overregulating kind of puts restrictions on small businesses, such as myself. If you are a YouTuber, you are a small business too. Uh, they put regulations on us to make it hard to operate small businesses. Whereas uh, the other side is for small businesses. Let anyone to vote, and Trump is for voter ID. Letting anyone to vote is kind of you got to know what you're voting for. If you're just going off the ideals of your parents and your teachers, and you don't really have your own consensus of what's going on in politics, you shouldn't vote. If you do, have your own thoughts and your own ideas on what's going on in your cities, neighborhoods, and towns, and then at your nation at large, by all means. But this doesn't really happen in your adolescence. Like if you're 16, 17 years old, you're not worried about this. At least I wasn't at 16 and 17. I was too busy running amok. But anyway, let's move right along here. Voter ID, yeah, we need that because there's too many ways that that elections can be frauded. Working welfare state versus a working class a welfare state basically is that the government pays for all of your needs. We know that it's socialism. Um, it doesn't necessarily work. It won't work because there's always greedy. There's always, especially, it won't work here in America, especially because America has been ingrained with the idea that more is less, and you just can never run out of more. You more, 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 more. That's why it won't fly here in America. Um, Moving down, poverty and prosperity. Again, you got to kind of look at to who's shaking the jar. Now, when one side says that it wants prosperity, they're really only talking about a certain group of individuals. When the other side are talking about poverty, they're really only talking about one group of individuals. But for them, the elite, the people who are middle class, are mega rich, it doesn't matter to them. This prosperity and poverty, they are going. Their money is going to continue to grow longer, so it plays nothing into their pockets. Big government versus small government. Big government is where they're outright in front, in your face, telling you what to do. Small government is like a silent partner. They might be paying millions into your business, uh, but they want to say that they are silent, so they're not giving you any ideas or inputs. But their money is still influencing in what you want them to do, what you want the business proprietor to do. Suppression versus free speech. I've not seen this in the Democratic Party. Matter of fact, I've seen it a lot where they want you want to have freedom of speech, but it is free to speak what they want you to speak. So I guess that's not freedom of speech. Um, and the same goes for the other side. They only want you to say what they want you to say. I'm for pure, unadulterated freedom of speech. I'm pretty sure many others are too. I'm not anybody special. You watch this channel, you already know that already. That I know I'm not anybody except for I know I'm a fine, handsome young man. But anyways, that's neither here nor there in this here particular video. But let's move on. Liberalism versus conservative. Liberal just means be free. Uh, uh, Kumbaya, hippies, 70s. It's the 70s every year, live and let live. Conservatism is basically Christian values, having morals, a definite, clear line between right and wrong. Communism, Constitution. I'm for the Constitution. I don't. We need to have it be relevant to today. Socialism versus capitalism. We've already went over that. Capitalism in America just means more and more and more. Is dog eat dog. The survival of the fittest, which is okay in a way, and in a way it isn't okay. Because everybody has to eat, and everybody should be given the fair chance to eat just as much as the next person. The well, let's leave it at that. Defiance versus patriotism. Patriotism. Now, uh, uh, you need to have a sense of nationality. You, if you don't, then you'll just let anything happen. And when there isn't any order, when there isn't any sense of pride, my parents used to tell me that we're not just going to give you stuff. You got to go out there and earn it for yourself, so you can have value, learn the value of the things that you have. If you don't know the value, or you believe that there is no value, or they tell you that America's crap and this, that, and the third, that just makes you feel like, why am I living here? But if you have a sense of pride of where you live, then you'll want to take care of it. You want to uphold it. You will want to have some type of spiritual pride, or godly pride, and where you live. Not bigotry. Not better as or superior, feeling superior than any other nation, because just where they live, they should feel just as much of that pride. But at the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters. And with that, I leave you with it. Hopefully, you have a clear understanding of where both Joe Biden and Trump stands, and where I stand on all these what's it called? On all these things here. I had a brain fart there for a second. Uh, on all these issues, there you go, on these platforms, on what they're standing on. This is my Facebook page, by the way, James Bar Judah. If you haven't yet friended me on Facebook, go ahead and do so if you would like. But with that, I am James Bar Judah. This is Shed Some Light. You guys have a wonderful and awesome day. Today is the 2nd, so that means tomorrow, go out and vote. Love you with the love of the Lord. Peace. You know why I say that? One second. You know why I say I love you with the love of the Lord? Not only is it because it's true, because that's what my father says too. And when he does his broadcast, or when he does his Sunday services, that's what he usually ends up saying, and that's been in the back of my head. When I can see me as I'm recording this video, and I guess I remind myself of that. But anyway, again, y'all have a blessed day. Peace.